Hi everyone, good morning. Welcome back to the channel. Today we will diving into the current, uh, market landscape to see which are the ideas getting filtered, and I'll show you one of the tools which I had already discussed in my previous videos, and how can we combine with the RRG chart. We will also look into the possibilities of combining with the technicals in this market at the moment. So we will explore how different sectors are rotating across the quadrants. What does this mean for potential opportunities and risk? Let's get into it. Uh, Before getting into the video or discussion, I just want to let everybody know that there are no buy and sell recommendation. This is just to understand how RRG chart works and how can we combine different tools for our benefits and make our investing journey fruitful. So, without further delay, let me cover the first part of how to filter the ideas by using a different tool and how can we combine those ideas into a RRG chart. Of course, as I always say, please use other tools as well. RRG chart gives you an edge to predict the movement of different sectors as well as different stocks within those sectors well in advance, and you can take your call. But combined with the fundamentals as well as your technical analysis as well. So let's move on to that. I'm on the Strike platform. I So the moment you go to the Strike platform on the homepage, you have an option called RRG chart. On the home screen, it will look like this, but click on the RRG chart and you can see the different indices coming up. Just a minute, I had a network reset, so let's do this. All right. So you will see all the indices as well over here. But as I said, we will filter the ideas first and we'll put those ideas into our RG chart to see which are the sectors or which are the stocks doing well and where we are getting more number of stocks at this point in time, and see which sector is doing well. So without further delay, let me just close this and reopen this. So let's go back here. Yeah, I believe I've had discussed this. I'm using StockScans built by SOIC. So big thank you to them. The credit goes to them. Wonderful team. They built this tool initially with few features, but now I can see many more features um, added into this tool, and this is making my life personally, I mean, very good to just filter the ideas quickly rather than looking for 100 tools or 10 tools or 50 tools. So what I generally do, and those are my favorite scan. One is volume rocketing. So I have an option where I can save the scans as well. So I have created different scan altogether, and every week on Saturday or Sunday, I run these scans. So the weekend is very boring for me. I do this 1 or 2 hours over the weekend. I run this besides of my regular job that I do. So this is my passion. So I do this, and my weekends are very boring. Reading different books, analyzing the fundamentals and looking at the technicals. These are my activities over the weekend, and I'm one of the boring person in my house. But anyways, let's move on to this. So I have a different screens created. The most favorite one is volume rocketing, and that gives you a lot of information about where the volumes are increasing, right? So um, the moment you click on it, you will see how many stocks are pairing, and you also have an option of notification as well. So I quickly go ahead and click on the filter, and I'll show you what type of filter that I put it here. So volume, simple moving average volume of 5 days is greater than 1.5 volume of 1.5 times of volume of 20 days moving average, right? So average volume is more than that, right? So, and then what is my next criteria is last 3 months, what is the relative performance versus Nifty 500? You can choose 10%, 15%, 20%. It's up to you. What is the market capitalization that I'm looking for it? So most of the winner would be around 20,000 to 50,000, or you can change that. I mean, it's not necessary. You can put it as a 1,000 as well and 10,000 or 20,000 as well. It's up to you. You can play around with that. And the moment you do that, you get a list of stocks. Those are having these criterias met. And you can have a look at those and do a further study of those stocks. Now, going back to the favorite one of I do have one more favorite scan which I use very often. Let me just show you this right away. So let's say market capitalization is I'm looking for something which is more than 2000 crore. Add a filter, return versus Nifty 500. So it is more than, let's say, 15%, right? Last for 3 months, and then return versus um, Nifty, let's say 15%, right? So, and you can also put a market capitalization, let's say market capitalization more than and less than 20K. I'm just giving an example. You can just play around with that. So I get 149 companies. What I can do is simply I can just download um, Excel sheet, a CSV file. And the moment I go there, here is the sheet. So what I can do here is let's look at this, right? So I mean, quick picture about like what exactly happening in the market at the moment. Look at this. So what I can do is I can quickly go ahead and do a, let's say, insert. Yeah, it just hardly few minutes, right? So let's say sector, and then I can see. Now look at this. Pharmaceutical 18, we knew about it. IT software 10, finance 12. Very interesting, right? So this is how you get a picture how many stocks are pairing for a particular sector based on the criteria that you have put in for the filtering the ideas, right? So and you can double click on the finance, you can get the list of stocks that are appearing, right? So it has a different segments altogether, right? Finance is not only the finance, but it covers NBFCs, asset management as well and other things, right? So Edelweiss, right? So you pick these, put it in our RRG chart, and then you can, get the idea. So what I do here is very simple. So let's say these are the list of stocks, right? So I just copy these and let's put it here. And what I can do is just a minute. I can remove just a minute. Okay, and then yeah, these are nulls because these are not having NSC stocks, so you can't get it in the RRG chart. You can check those separately on the technical chart. So let's say I just go ahead and on my RRG chart, I've already created a, let's go to the watch list. Already have a watch list. Yeah, this is the watch list. What I can do is I can import those. Um, I can download a sheet and then what I can do is I can just copy. Um, so I can remove this or probably I can copy from there. So other than StockScans, if you're using any other tool, you can play around. You can play around and um, review those stocks while you run a scan, right? So one thing to remember, you cannot upload more than 50 stocks per watch list in RRG in a strike platform. So you have to create a multiple um, watch list for your stock scan. So you can choose those based on the categories as well. Relative versus Nifty, return versus Nifty 500, 3 months watch list for finance. You can change the name uh, as per the sector, right? So let's say I've saved this. I know that there are more than 50 for sure, so it won't get uploaded everything on that. But let's see. We'll get a 50 stock. So let's see how it goes. Yeah, we'll get only 50. So let's say what is the status of these stocks? So in remaining other stocks, you can create a multiple, as I said, multiple watch list to look at the status of those stocks. So let's go to the, yeah, what happened? Let me just go to the watch list. Just a minute. Just a minute. Oh, it has 134, so it won't show it. Okay, I need to remove some of them. Uh, so okay, let's do this way. Let's do one thing. Um, delete this watch list. Okay, now what I can do is I can just copy some of them, right? So let's say relative relative performance versus Nifty 500 one, right? So you can create it like one just for the demo purpose right now. And then what I can do here is I can just count top 50 to just give you the example of uh, so let's do this way. Yeah, and then I can remove all these, and then you can create another one, right? So that's fine. You don't have to worry about. We can still play around with that and get the information. So let's import, upload file, and then I can get imported successfully. I go to RRG chart, select the relative performance. Just a minute. Yeah. Now change to Nifty 500, and then select weekly. Remember, we get daily data added. However, it doesn't get updated until Monday for the weekly time frame. So the data rollover happened on every Monday for the weekly analysis. Remember this. But data gets recorded every day. All right, look at this. Most of the stocks that you see are in leading. It's one-sided story. Like 95%, more than that, I think 97% stocks are in leading, right? So this is how you pick the ideas, and you can check the status independently for every stock. So similarly, you can create sector-wise, right? So GSW, GSW Holding Limited, right? It is getting into leading now. Similarly, you can check for others as well. So this is how I filter the ideas. This is one way of filtering the ideas. There are many other ideas as well, which you can look at it. So the top-down approach would be to look at the sector, which sector is doing well, right? Pick the stocks from those sectors, analyze the fundamental catalyst if there are any, use RRG chart to see where the current status is, use technical whether it is having a high volume or any recent entry or anything that we need to look at it, right? So uh, yeah, my favorite detail ways, but we can take an example of anything, right? So let's say I'm on a uh, this is my trading view account. So I use two of the filters, uh, indicators. One is relative strength, which is my favorite, right? So I have one is relative strength by Bharat Trader, and the other one is comparative relative strength versus Nifty 50, right? So at the bottom that you see, the beauty of this relative strength is it allows you to ride the journey. I'm not a swing trader. I'm not a day trader. I'm a long-term investor. So I look at the weekly chart, not a daily chart, but it's up to you. Whichever type of investor you are, you can use that different time frame for looking at the stocks. But for me, it's very clear that I look for a longer term horizon and see how the trend is, right? And I ride the trend until it continues. So there are many examples. I have a watch list as well, different watch list altogether. So I keep tracking those very clearly. And a few days back, I said about Newzen. I picked it up from the RRG chart and of course the technical, combining technical. Look at this, the video of weekly chart and the relative strength. Starting from 17th April 2023, it never gave you the exit. Just imagine. This is the video of technical chart. Of course, you need to look for fundamental triggers as well. Nothing is bad. Fundamental is also good. Technicals will give you the indication well before the fundamentals. Technical will allow you to ride the journey. Technical will tell you when to exit, right? So this is how you need to go through uh, the journey, right? Senko, yeah, look at the volume, look at the volume, right? So this is how you run. This is how you manage. Apollo, I said this, right? I spotted this and I said this, and it was doing really well in RRG chart as well, right? So it's very choppy here on the relative strength, but it never gave a meaningful exit, right? Not a meaningful exit here, not a high volume bars with selling pressure, right? So this is how you run you ride the journey and you manage your portfolio, right? And you allocate well in advance. Look at this. How many days of consolidation in Polycap? It never going down below EMA 30. The green line is EMA 30 and the blue is EMA 10. So this is how you write. Now I had a question on my Twitter account. His name is Johnny. He asked me this question. Hello, brother. If RRG chart is showing some names in leaning or improving zone and plus the sector is in uptrend, plus the price action says that the chart is breaking out or on a verge of it, then should we enter in that script in this choppy market condition or should we wait? First of all, Johnny, if you are looking at this recording or watching this recording, I want to say I don't want to give any buy and sell recommendation to anyone due to the rules and regulations. So all I can say is I have covered this multiple times. Look at the tail length of the particular stock or sector on the RRG chart. As I already covered this, the x-axis at the bottom reflects the relative strength of that sector or stock, and the y-axis gives you the idea about the relative strength momentum. So you have to look at the tail length, how the tail length is showing, whether it is into improving, but if tail length is very small and it is not moving further. So there are multiple parameters that you need to look for it, right? Um, I can't answer directly by looking at your comments over here, but it's a great question though, right? And you need to combine with technical chart to see if there are any high volumes and if it is, more than, I mean, trading at more than EMA 30 on a weekly chart. I look for weekly chart, honestly. So I can just tell you on the weekly chart basis. I'm not sure what is your time frame horizon, Johnny. I mean, you are a long-term investor or day trader or swing trader. I don't know. So I would say three things, right? One is look at the RRG chart to see what is the position of the stock or sector, which quadrant it is into it. Now, second one is look at the tail length. Look at the tail length in terms of how it is moving on the RS and how it is moving on the RS momentum side, right? Look at that. And if you don't know how to check that, you can watch my previous videos. It is available on the YouTube. The third part is you combine with the technical as well to see how it is, right? And the fourth most important thing is I really like to analyze on the fundamentals as well because I read con calls, I look at the balance sheet and everything from my side. But at least you look at the EPS growth if you are a pure technical guy, but I encourage you to learn fundamentals. Not everything, but at least few basic things if you can learn, that will be a great advantage for you. Look at the EPS growth as well, right? So I have one of the indicators over here, which gives me a clear picture about year-on-year growth and quarter-on-quarter growth for the EPS, right? And I also get the valuation matrix. P is I don't follow P completely. I have different valuation matrix as well, and it talks about everything over here, right? So I get a sense of it, okay, how the EPS is performing year on year and quarter on quarter, right? So this is how you can combine and take your call. But I can't give you directly any kind of buy and sell recommendation. You folks have to assess your risk and appetite and risk appetite and see how much risk that you can take and what is your horizon, right? And what type of investor you are. So depending on that. With that, I believe the most important thing for everybody is to keep learning, keep enhancing your skills. As I always say, RRG chart is one of the best tools, but not everything. Remember, RRG chart can give you the rotation or the movement of the particular sector and stock very well in advance, and that is what you want to catch. That's how it makes that's how the tool is different compared to any other tool. But it doesn't mean that you should not combine technical or fundamentals. Always remember. And on the RRG chart, the most important thing you need to understand is the movement will always be a clockwise direction, and that is the best movement. There would be some script moving from weakening to leading. That is a nirvana moment that I have had already covered it. But there will be a movement of the stock or sector going into improving, leading, weakening, and then lagging, then again going back to improving. So you know about this, what would happen next well in advance, right? When you know about this, you can position yourself accordingly. And that's why RRG chart is different compared to any other tool. But remember this, every stock or sector will go through a cycle. We all know about this, right? So don't think that it will always be in improving, it will always be in leading, it will never come back to weakening, or it will always be there in weakening. It will also move to a different quadrants. So there are movements. You need to catch the movement and combine with the RS and RS momentum. So with that, I hope you like this video, and please like the video, put your comments if any questions. Happy to answer those. And yeah, the goal here is to share the best knowledge and learn from you folks as well, right? It's not only I'm sharing the knowledge. It's all about learning from each other. That's very important. And keep learning, keep enhancing your skills. Uh, and with that, take care of your health and take care of your family. Have a great day, and Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.